So talk about Evan a little bit and his improvement over the last few weeks that you've seen.
Yeah, well, I think Evan's a really interesting case in terms of where he started here as primarily a baseball player, position trade last year, and a guy who hadn't played a lot of defensive football. And he's a really intelligent player. That's probably his strong suit. He's got long levers, understands what we're trying to do, does a good job of being gap of sound, and very disciplined in terms of his assignments. And he opens up a lot of things. He's kind of an unsung hero for us on defense a little bit. He takes up a lot of double teams at the 3 technique, and eats up gaps for us, keeps our linebackers clean, creates some opportunities for one-on-ones with our edge rushers and pass rush. And so, while his name might not come up in the stat sheet a lot, he's really a valuable member of our front seven.
You mentioned his intelligence. It seemed like last year he was always popping up in the middle of the play, making a big tackle, kind of when you didn't expect it. How important is it for a defensive lineman to be intelligent and to be able to recognize the play that's coming out?
Yeah, I think that's probably an underrated aspect of that particular position, because there's a lot of things that are happening very quickly. These guys have to process a lot of information in a short amount of time in terms of their alignment assignment. But backfield sets and keys are going to give them a really good idea where the play is going to go. And so the faster that they can process their base information in terms of how they align and what their job is, the quicker they can look and find those clues that are going to give them an idea and maybe being a step ahead of the offense. And I think that's where Evan's IQ really helps him in that situation.
Okay, and then the last thing I want to ask you about is his leadership ability. Obviously, he's a senior now. This year's pretty different for him. He said that he's definitely feeling a little bit more of that role.
Yeah.
Do you sense him that he's been taking that on?
Yeah, I think everybody's going to have a certain style, and I think Evans, he's not a rah-rah guy. He's not a guy that's going to go out there and yell and scream and pound his chest, but he's very much a blue-collar guy. He's very workmanlike, and I think that's really important for our young guys in this program to see, is how we go about our business day in and day out. He's a good student. He's a great ambassador for this university off the field, and so those are all things that I think are really important for us in terms of these young guys seeing how it's done, and that's a big piece of leadership.